What's up guys, welcome to another video. I had some free time today, so I figured I would do an indie game spotlight for today. And just an FYI before we get started here, I was tinkering around with my mic today and trying to get it to sound better. So if it sounds like I have a lisp or if I just overall sound depressed, it's because of my mic, it's not me. So just so you guys know before we get started, I'm going to fire up a new game here. I'm going to try to go over the gameplay um, as we go along instead of just explaining it all beforehand because just because because I want to. And wait for it to load here. I have attempted recording this multiple times before, and during those recordings I've experienced some lag because of recording, because of fraps and stuff, so expect that. Now, start a new game. This is your character you start out with. And right now he's just named Wanderer. You can change that to be whatever you want, but we're just going to keep it Wanderer for now. And you can change the way he looks, but at the moment this game is in very early alpha, and it is being it has been being independently developed. I can't talk today. By one man named Chris Hunt. Yeah, that's his name. Had a brain fart there. So yeah, not a whole lot of game features right now because it's an early alpha, but later on you will be able to change, like, I don't know if there will be multiple races, because right now it just says human and tribal, but I assume there will be like different, maybe nationalities or something like that later on. Facial features, but there's only two different options right now. Hairstyle, just appearance in general, and I'm going to keep him as he is right there because this is just a showcase video. It's kind of hard to explain how this game works because it's kind of complex, I guess. It's kind of a hybrid between an RPG and an RTS, and what I mean by that is you select units like this and you right click and tell them where to go. Right now we just have one guy in our squad, but later on we can get more, and that's where the RTS aspect comes in. And there's also other aspects later on in different parts of gameplay, but I'll show that off in a little bit. RPG stats are involved as well. As you can see, attack skill, defensive skill, medic skill, yada yada, all that stuff. So that's where each of the different characters in your squad all have their different strengths and weaknesses and stuff, different skills. So we're gonna go here in the bar here real fast, and this guy right here is a sword for hire. So talk to him. You looking to join up? Yes, I am, but it will cost you 700 cats. That would be the currency. Deal. I have 1,000 cats, so I can't afford to hire him. Now I can customize his name, looks, just like I did with the first guy, but I'm not going to do that now. Now I have two guys in my squad, and I can select them and right click and tell them where to go, just like that. And I can also individually select each one of my guys and tell them where to go. They could split up and go to the different ends of the world if I wanted to. Maybe not now, but that would be the goal, the end goal for the finished product of this game. So I'm gonna run out here in the desert. This is set, I'm assuming, like in some sort of a post-apocalyptic world, where, I don't know, something happened. Now the entire world's a desert, and everybody, the survivors, humanity, I guess, is just trying to rebuild itself, and technology is lost, so everybody's using swords and bows and that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool setting, I think. I like it. But the idea here is that you start out, everything is level 1. As you can see, both my characters are level 1 everything. And as it just so happens, there's some bandits out here, some dust bandits. Even the weakest bandit out here in the desert is 10 times stronger than you are, at least. So there is currently no way to defend. What are you guys doing? Splitting up for some reason. But there's currently there's no way to beat an entire gang of bandits by yourself. So what you do is, it might seem like it's taken forever for them to run out here, but thankfully there's a speed up time button. Time warp. and run out here and get their attention. This is at the moment the only way to. Oh, these guys glitched out through the sand. It's an early alpha, as I mentioned before, so there will be some bugs. Spacebar to pause, and this is where some of the RTS. This is where some more RTS gameplay comes in, because you can pause the game and these guys are just like floating there. You can pause the game and just like give orders for your squad, and then unpause and just watch them carry out their orders. So that's pretty cool. You can be all tactical about fighting if you want to. What are these guys over here? Oh, you know what? I can just run towards them. They're friendly. It's a trading caravan. So if I lead these bandits over to them, they will fight each other off, and I can grab their weapons and armor and sell it for money. And I can keep on doing that over and over again. This is the only way to start out currently because of the lack of features in the game right now. But if you go to the website, and these guys are still chasing me, you go to the website, there's a ton of information about what the end product of this game is geared towards. And from what I understand, it's going to be awesome. And I have a lot of faith in this game. I cannot wait until it's finished because let's face it, there is not another game out there like this, and there never has been. I'd totally recommend reading some of the articles that Chris wrote about he wrote an article about game design. That's on the website, and I will link that in the description. Even if you're not interested in this game, I would still recommend reading that article he wrote about what makes good game design, because it will challenge the way you look at video games and the way they're designed and stuff. So yeah, these guys are beating everybody up. And as soon as this guy's dead, or down, not necessarily dead, it's kind of hard for guys to die in this game. But these guys are unconscious. I should go over the medical system now while I have time, seeing as how these guys are just sort of beaten. As you can see here, my guys are all full health. They all have, all the different body parts have individual health. As those different parts take damage, then you'll start bleeding more and more, and this is your bleeding rate. It's currently 0, and this is your amount of blood that you have. As the bleeding rate increases, the amount of blood that you lose per second drops, goes higher, the bleeding rate increases, and you lose blood quicker. If your blood goes down to 0, you pass out, and then it starts to go down to the negatives. If it gets to negative 85 or so, I can't exactly remember the exact number, but then you die. And the same goes for these different individual body parts. Like if your arm gets down to 0, it becomes useless, and then you can't use it anymore, and your character becomes just overall less effective than he would otherwise be. Then it starts going into the negatives, and if it gets up to negative 85 or whatever what the number was, I forgot, then it becomes dismembered, sorry. Then I'm guessing you would have to have like some kind of like replacement auto mail, maybe. I'm not sure what that. There's no replacements yet, so I'm not sure how he plans to solve that issue, but there will be something. And here I'm just looting these guys, taking their weapons, and yeah, these guys had some pretty awesome swords on them right here. So these are saber classes. There's different weapon classes. My guys both have katanas, it's just starter weapons. These are sabers. They're heavier and they do more damage, but they're not as quick. And the idea would be that I don't have enough room. I'm going to have my other guy carry it, but the idea would be that the lighter load you're carrying, like lighter armor, lighter weapons, the quicker you can be, and more often you can dodge attacks. But that should go without saying. Alright, so I'm just going to run back to town and sell these items for money. And I'm trying to think of what to say here. There's not a whole lot of gameplay yet, but as I've said before, this is early alpha and it's only being developed by one man, so it's not about what the game is at the moment, it's about what it will be. And What it will be, as I've said before, is awesome, and if you want to know more about it, then go to the website and read about it, because I'm not going to sit here and talk about it. What am I? Oh, I accidentally clicked on somebody to talk to him. Okay, well, I will go over here, and these guys are still time warped. Okay. Is there anybody in here that would like to, yep, would like to sell their wares? Alright, this guy must be a clothing merchant, and I can in fact sell him one of my swords that I picked up, and I got some money out of that. But yeah, I'm not gonna show you guys the entire like selling all my swords, that would be boring. But yeah, this, when you start out, all you gotta do is go, just like I showed you, go get the bandits' attention, have the guards take them down, sell their weapons for money, get better weapons and armor. But as far as leveling goes, it's really hard to do when you first start out because everybody else is stronger than you. But one method would be to actually get into the fight yourself, but set them to defensive mode, as you see here. When there's, excuse me, cough. When they're set to defensive mode, they get a 20-point boost in their defensive skill temporarily, as long as they're in defensive mode, but they will not attack back. So that is a good way to get your defensive skill leveled in early game. Then when their defensive skill gets high enough, then you can switch them back to offensive, and they can start hitting back as well as defending. That's how you can level. And in the finished game, there will be multiple ways to start out. Like, you won't have to just run out and get the bandits' attention and have them run back, because from what I understand, Chris, the developer, is really good at programming AI, so I don't think that it would be very realistic that the bandits chase you all the way to somewhere that they're going to get wasted. So that little game mechanic won't be around for long, thankfully. But you will be able to join up with trading caravans as a hired sword, as a mercenary, and you can be with other stronger mercenaries, and if you get attacked, you get to fight alongside them in defensive mode, of course, because you're a noob. And yeah, that's a good way to level, and there will be other ways of starting out in the finished game, but at the moment it's not there yet. So yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do early at the start of a game right here, so I will just load up a previously saved game of mine that I've been playing for a few months now, and I will show you that and be right back. We're back, and this is my squad of 4 that I've been playing with for a few months now. They have the best weapons and armor in the game currently. There's not a whole lot in the game yet, as I said before, but he recently hired a freelance artist, so that will hopefully change here soon. So yeah, as you can see, these guys, which ones are they? This guy was my first guy, and yes, as you may have noticed, I did name him after the game, just because I can, and he's my katana user. The idea I'm going for here is an elite squad of just a few members that each specialize in a different weapon, and just a few can defeat an army. So yeah, might be a little bit too much, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, their skills are a lot higher than just one right here, and this guy's my strongest, obviously, but as it just so happens, this guy, my second guy, he has the highest DPS because of his weapon, which is a saber, and it just so happens to be a sort of overpowered saber between updates, because there was an update released and he kind of dumbed down the weapons that the merchants sell, but I had gotten that weapon previously, so I have a much more powerful weapon than is currently in the game because of that little mishap. I'm not complaining though. In case you're wondering what this is here, this is in the most recent update, there is now the ability to build your own buildings, and the idea is that you can build up your own base and grow your faction, hire more people, and get some professions like dig a mine, start farming, and that will be your main source of income, is from your buildings and your professions and stuff. And as your faction grows and gets bigger, then and more wealthy, that it will bring the attention of some of the bigger bandits, and you'll start getting attacked and that kind of stuff. It's really interesting. Go read the homepage, as I've mentioned before, and get your mind blown. So yeah, that's really all I have to showcase in this because of the lack of game features right now. Um, I'm tempted to just go out and fight some bandits with this guy with this squad to show you how quickly they can just kill them all, but this video is probably getting too long anyway, so I will cut it short here. I will link in the description a few of the articles on the homepage that I would recommend reading, and yeah, go check this game out. It's a little bit short on funds right now because not a lot of people know about it, and that's partly the reason I'm doing this video in the first place, is because Chris could use some of the advertisements, and I would love to see this game thrive because it has the potential to be better than even Minecraft was, if you remember back in the alpha days of that game and how big of a success it was. So yes, if you enjoyed this video review, then please leave a rating in the form of a like or a comment, or even a subscription if you would like to see more videos from me. Then I can't promise a consistency of videos, but I can promise there will be more. Possibly some Minecraft let's plays or whatnot. I don't know, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.